Hi, this is Suzanne Conrad, and I'm the founder of Lightyear. What you're about to listen to is a foundational principle that we call above and below the line of choice. So in this audio recording, I'll go into depth and teach you some of the things that have been foundational to the very wonderful, successful cultures that Lightyear has helped create corporately, as well as the individuals that apply this to their life and use it day to day. So for me, I had the grace and the privilege to learn this principle from my teacher, and it has helped me every day so that when I'm worried, I can shift into commitment. When I feel guilt, I can shift into what there is for me to be responsible about. You'll see there's a number of different things that I go through that will help you day to day. So I ask you to listen to this with new ears if you've heard it before, and if you haven't, let it just wash over you, and imagine that this line is one that you can use moment to moment to help you recover yourself when you're maybe not your best self. So thank you so much and enjoy. This is Suzanne Conrad from Lightyear Leadership, sharing with you the principle, the line of choice. This is a quote from Dorothy Wood Espio. Choice, the most misunderstood of words, means for you to consciously choose something. Now, I've been with this statement for easily now 22 years, and I've come to recognize that there is much misunderstanding about choice and the role that it plays in our lives moment to moment. Most people don't even spend time considering whether or not they're in choice about the actions that they're taking. And when we're unaware of our actions or are not in choice about them, we're in reaction. And this reactionary state becomes the default for most people most of the time. Now, I want you to get a very clear picture of a line. There is a line of choice, and each of us can have a sense of what it feels like to be in choice and what the sensations are when we're not in choice. The cost of being below this line of choice and being in reaction can take many forms, from having our listening affected, so we're not able to hear what our loved ones are actually saying. It can be that we're not able to fully express ourselves. It can mean that we are in a chronic state of fear or anger, and it alters the very chemistry of our body. It could mean that we're never able to really receive the appreciation from others. It could mean that we're not able to fully fulfill and embrace our own happiness. There is a place that we can exist where we are connected to our best self, where we feel a sense of choice and our ability to create wonder and to have faith and be in forgiveness and trust, to be able to discern what's best for us and to experience love. That's what I call living in authentic choice. There are 5 main patterns that can take us below this line of choice: worry, doubt, fear, judgment, and unforgiveness. Each of these 5 things are often making a connection to something that happened in the past. It can seem very rational, and this tendency to protect and attempt to prevent the past from happening again can make a lot of sense. And yet staying in this reactionary default actually replicates more of the same and prevents us from creating a new future. In my research, I've come to understand that worry, although it looks like a form of being concerned for another person, actually displaces commitment. I've come to see that unforgiveness attracts more unforgiveness, and it displaces the ability to forgive people, to move on, to allow things to pass away. I've seen that judgment displaces the ability to actually see and to discern. When I'm in judgment of myself and others, I lock down and I label, and the world becomes as if my feet are in cement, instead of that I can discern and see from many directions and many possibilities. I've learned that fear, when I'm sensing fear, it's displacing my capacity to be in faith. And when I'm in doubt, it's displacing the ability to have trust and patience. Here is the whole game, though, that's going to make a difference, is helping yourself understand that every moment that you spend below the line, you're taking a risk with your very own life, because those sorts of things like to compound. For instance, as soon as I doubt myself, I'm likely to judge myself, and then I'm likely to get into reaction, and then I'm likely to condemn myself and give up before I've even talked to anybody about it. And then pretty soon I'll start to make up a story about why that all makes sense and why I wasn't any good at it anyway. Sound familiar? So for all of us, what we want to get good at is being able to catch ourselves quickly, so that we're not there very long, so that we can avoid the dangers of compounded negativity that happens. Through my own direct experience and decades of experimentation, I can tell you that you can have the choice to restore your own choice. What you have to do, though, is know that you're not in choice and choose it. I recognize that that sounds super basic. It is what's real, though. Now look at it this way. You can set yourself up in your environment so that you have lots of ways to prompt yourself when you slip out of choice and into reaction. One of them is to notice, hey, I'm not in choice anymore, and to stop it. One is to see if there's an incorrect belief that's lurking around in the background. And another one is to recommit to being in choice in life. When I begin to worry and doubt myself and have a sensation in the pit of my stomach and feel my brow furrowing and my shoulders crunching, I absolutely now know that I can stop it. One of the ways that I stop it, I take a breath. I realign my shoulders. I allow my energy to move from the front of my brain to the back of my brain. I settle into my space and sense my feet and become grounded and clear. Other ways that I reliably restore myself to choice are I look at a beautiful picture of my kids on my iPhone, or I listen to music that makes me feel happy and reminds me how much I love my life, or I review some of my declarations or my vision or a goal that inspires me. Sometimes I use the work that I learned through Dorothy, the Gems of Excellence, where I clear myself. Sometimes I give myself a big hug, or I call my husband. You see, there's so many ways that we can restore choice. I've heard people share that they just sometimes need to walk outside and take a breath of fresh air, or walk around the block, or have a good cry. All of these ways are valid, and that's why we emphasize that for each of us, there is a very particular and individual line of choice that they can master. The main reason that I wrote this principle is that for years I saw people write goals. I saw people write visions that were actually from their past. They were actually what I would call mediocre. And I saw that people were being tricked out of the most precious gift that a human being can have, and that is to exercise their free will, to exercise their authentic choice. Authentic choice creates possibility, the possibility to take another pathway, to see from another view, to get past the stress in the brain that causes the reactionary default. Living from authentic choice restores a deeper life purpose for one's goals and one's legacy.